Thank you, Chairman Costa and Ranking Member Rouser, and thank you for letting me wave on to the subcommittee today to be able to be here. Very grateful.
We appreciate your participation. It's an important voice.
Thank you. Well, I'm so glad that one of our great Iowans is here. Rob, thank you so much for your personal testimony this morning. I know that it's difficult to talk about the issues that your family is facing, so I thank you for being here very much so. Obviously, you heard that the trade war is impacting families in Iowa dramatically, and as I've traveled my district and met with Iowans, I've heard countless stories of stress and frustration from, of course, corn and soybean farmers trying to figure out just how they're going to make ends meet during this ongoing trade war. And while there are sometimes incredibly painful stories to hear, those stories need to be told. So I'm glad that Rob is here today to share those with the committee. I'll never forget one of the first stories I was informed of was a farmer who called my office and really was contemplating if it was to his family's benefit for him to even be here anymore. And that's the kind of suffering that's going on in row crop states like Iowa right now. The trade war is absolutely impacting so many families across our state. So, Mr. Ewoldt, I want to start by quickly going back to your opening testimony where you said you were concerned about whether you'll be able to receive an operating loan this year. And I know you took on a second job as a truck driver for a few nights a week to pay down debt. I love your Iowa fortitude. This is exactly who we are. I think you said you're up all night worrying about this anyhow, so you might as well be making some money. As much as I appreciate that, it's not what we want to have you doing. We want to have you farming as much as possible. So I'm just wondering, this second job, and you're out there in the community with your friends and neighbors, are you seeing this becoming more common? And are you seeing your friends and neighbors in similar situations?
Yes, it's not something people like to talk about out in the open, but I have some good friends that are going through the exact same thing, and they've taken up other jobs. You know, they've gone to town and everything to anything to help out. You know, it's as I said earlier when I kind of went off track in my oral comments about, you know, I have a friend that owes more on a farm now than he did in '92 when he bought it, and it's just through refinancing. And I mean, the only way, you know, it's just tough to overcome that debt. And the truck driving, yeah, it helps. I mean, it's a very good income, and maybe I'm a better truck driver than I am a farmer because I make money at that. You know, I don't know. But there are a lot of people that are doing that. I have a friend that I saw at the airport when I flew out yesterday morning that he's marshaling planes. He farms, and now he had to find something else to do. His passion's airplanes. So he went and got a job at our local airport marshaling planes to provide for his family and offset debt. So it's happening all over. You know, what I'm really concerned about is that, you know, we have an average age of farmers in the United States of what, 59, 58 years old? I'm not sure what it is, but people my age in their 40s that have never had an opportunity to purchase land at an affordable price, at a cash flow, build up equity. I've never had that opportunity, and a lot of people my age haven't had that opportunity. So they're sitting with equity only in equipment that depreciates and wears out, and it doesn't have that value. When that happens, you have nothing to borrow against. I'm afraid when this is all said and done that you're going to see a jump in that average age of farmer. Because the ones that are in their 60s and up, they have $4 or $5 million worth of land equity behind them that they can weather this storm and stay in business. I don't. And a lot of my friends at our age don't. And I think that if you lose enough 40-somethings, that's really going to jump that average age. And what's that look like 10 years down the road then? I don't know.
Yeah, Rob, I so appreciate that. And I want to ask you another question because you noted how the impacts of the trade war isn't just being felt by farmers, but by, of course, equipment manufacturers as well. What's been the impact of the community at large in Davenport, especially with regard to John Deere?
Well, John Deere, you know, corporate headquarters is right across the river in Moline, and I haven't paid attention to how many, but I know that there has been several rounds of layoffs. And in fact, I was just at another meeting with somebody that was looking at at layoff with John Deere, and she was able to go to the corporate side because we have harvester group and we have planter group, seeder group, and there's been considerable layoffs there, and also tractors up in the tractor plant up in Waterloo also has looked at some layoffs. So it's affecting everybody, and I talked to owners of equipment dealerships, and it's tough for those guys. I mean, they just can't. Their service department's doing great because nobody can afford to buy new equipment, so they have to repair their old. So their service department's doing great, but as far as moving new equipment, it's not happening.